Okay, I'm still on a quest to give you the tips to make the best show notes you can possibly make in the least amount of time. Let's get started. My name is Kerry Green, and I am the Client Happiness Guy at PodcastFastTrack.com, and this is Podcastification. This show is all about podcasting. How to do it, how not to do it, best practices, interesting news items that have to do with the realm of podcasting, and who knows what else. And I'm trying to do it all with a little bit of fun and some information to help you get a show going, keep yours going, or make it better. And if you like what's going on here on the show, I would appreciate it, so appreciate it, if you could leave a rating or review on iTunes. You can find out how to do that at podcastfasttrack.com/review. That's enough of that kind of stuff. Let's get you podcastificated right away. Two episodes ago, I tried to convince you that you need to take the time to create quality show notes. If you missed that episode, you can go now to podcastfasttrack.com/shownotes1, that's the number 1, to hear my reasoning behind that. And then in the last installment of Podcastification, I showed you the first step that my Podcast Fast Track team takes to begin the show notes creation process. That included audio editing and creation of a bullet point outline all at the same time, and keyword research. If you missed that episode, you can find it at podcastfasttrack.com/shownotes2, and that's the number 2. Well, today, I'm going to take you into the next step of our show notes creation process, and that's the 500-word summary of the audio content. Now, remember, before we get started here, if you've followed my formula so far, which was covered in those last 2 episodes I mentioned, you've already got 2 vital steps done. You've got a bullet point outline of the audio, which will come in very handy in this step, and you've got a list of keywords to focus on when writing, which will also be very instrumental in creating a great summary of the audio. So let's dive in. Now first, let's include why you should include a 500-word summary in the show notes. The main reason that we do this is really 2 reasons. 1, to give your readers a true teaser. Keep that in mind, teaser, of what they're going to hear in the audio content. You want your show notes to draw your reader in to become not just a reader, but a listener to the audio that you're highlighting, which is where the true value lies. And 500 words is about right to do that in a way that reveals just enough, but not too much. The second reason is that 500 words is just about right to get some search engine attention. Any shorter, and it might be seen as an invaluable resource. Any longer, and it could be just too much information. 500 words is just like the baby bear's porridge that Goldilocks ate. Just right. And before you get too anxious about the word count, let me put your mind at ease. My team never counts the words. 500 is our target. We write what we need to write, no more, no less. And we usually go over or under that 500-word mark just a tiny little bit. That's okay. Just relax on the word count. Now, what do you want to include in your 500-word summary for your show notes? There's a handful of important things you need to include in your show notes, and we choose to include most of these in our 500-word summary. First is keywords. Remember that keyword list you made? You're going to include them in your summary in natural ways. The second thing we're going to include is deep links. And that's links to other pages on your website, just in case you didn't know what that meant. And then you're also going to include some outbound links. That's links to other reputable web pages or resources. Now, why do we include these things? The keywords? Well, it's obvious. We're trying to get the show notes post to rank for organic search traffic, which in turn could lead to new listeners and followers. The deep links? Well, linking throughout your own website is relevant content, and that improves your SEO juice. The outbound links? Again, SEO is improved if you demonstrate that you're writing for your readers by providing them value, even if that value is not on your website. But make sure the outbound links you include are reputable sites, not some junky, spammy, ad-filled site. Now, there's a couple of other things we include. There's headings. Why? Well, we want the post to be scannable. since most people nowadays scan websites before they read them. The headings break up the content, highlighting some of the most important topics, hint, keywords, and enticing your readers to become listeners. And then we're also going to include some short paragraphs. Now, did you get the operative word there? Short. We put these under each heading as mini blurbs of what that heading topic covers. And we do our darndest to write it in a way that makes the readers want to listen to the podcast episode. That's what I mean by making it alluring or attractive. So how do we go about writing the show notes summary? Number one, we use the bullet point outline from step one. The bullet points serve as a reminder of what we heard in the audio. It also serves as a roadmap for the entire episode. Now, we're probably going to use at least some of those bullet points as headings. What I suggest, create your headings first. We typically provide 4 to 5 headings for a typical blog post show notes thing. Make them catchy, alluring, and full of pop and pizzazz, but don't be spammy or sensational. People can tell when you're just doing that. Write with your keywords in mind. And that doesn't mean you need to stuff your keywords into the headings any chance you get. It means you want to keep in mind that your readers are looking for something when they search for those keywords. And you need to think, what is it they're looking for? Your headings should show them that they found what they're looking for. So keep that in mind when you write those headings. Once you have the headings, create alluring paragraphs that will give a hint of how the heading is going to deliver on the thing that they're searching for. So include your keywords or related phrases in the paragraphs in natural ways. Make it readable and easy to understand. But don't give away the farm. Keep some mystery to the topic so your readers will want to listen to the audio that you're summarizing. So that's all number one, using the bullet points from step number one. Step number two is that we go back through what we've written to tweak it, optimize it, and otherwise just make it better. You will never get it right the first time. Count on it. Everything you write will need a second run through to check for literacy, grammar, comprehension, and allure or attractiveness. Here are some tips for how to do this quickly but effectively. First, read it back to yourself out loud. You'll be amazed at the awkward things you hear that need correction. Paste it into an online text-to-speech generator, and there's lots of them out there. You do this so that you can hear it in another person's voice. Then, using your keyword list, go through and optimize for keywords and keyword phrases. But again, don't keyword stuff it. There's a delicate balance here. Write for the people, but use the keywords they're searching for. Be careful. Tread lightly. And then, next, add quality images that relate to the content. Now, make sure you can legally use the images that you put in there, and also make sure they're high quality. And you want to optimize them with keywords. And that means the file name, the alt tag, and the description should all contain your target keyword or keyword phrase. Now, if you do what I just taught you and combine it with the content you created from the steps in the previous episode, you're going to have some pretty good sets of show notes that are alluring and interesting to your readers, optimized for SEO, and effective in summarizing and promoting your episode. But wait, we're not done with this show notes thing. In the next episode, I'm going to show you one additional step that our team does to repurpose our show notes for social sharing. But before we get to that, it's time for you to take action on what you've heard in this episode. What are you going to do with the tips that I've given you today? Here's a little assignment for you just to try this out. Re-listen to this episode and create a bullet point outline of the content. Then create headings from your bullet points. Then create your short paragraphs, trying to optimize for keywords and all of that good stuff. Then go to the show notes page for this episode at podcastfasttrack.com/shownotes3 and compare your bullet point list to the actual show notes you're going to see. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to see your comments there on the show notes page. Thanks for listening. This show is brought to you by Podcast Fast Track, where my team provides professional podcasting services without the time suck. Full production, editing, and show notes, all in one monthly subscription package. You can find out more at podcastfasttrack.com. Now go out and make it a podcastificating day.